Welcome to the Daisy Blue Fashion Variety Show. I am Nancy Blizzard, your host, and my guest today is Jesus Perez. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here.
It's an honor to be here right now.
I'm glad you're here. Tell me more about your company.
Yeah, so my company, the name is Perez. It's Latin for faith, and the whole idea behind Perez was that I was just like a high school kid, and I wanted to start a company, start a brand, start something that was my own, and that I could express myself. So I was like, I think I have to have a lot of faith in myself, and faith in my parents. Perez to me is an expression of faith. I like to express myself. I like to express what I believe in, memories that I have through my clothes. But I was I just have to have faith in myself that I'm gonna do the right decision.
What do you do as a full-time job?
I just I help my parents clean. We clean houses. I don't like cleaning at all. It's I don't like it. But every single day I spend cleaning and stuff like that. Every single second I spend doing that, I spend obsessing as well. Okay, I want to reach my dreams. I want to be able to one day design jackets I don't know, are worn by celebrities or something. I don't know, But every single second I spend doing something working and stuff like that, cleaning and stuff, I spend obsessing as well. Okay, new ideas. What's the next move? What am I gonna do next to put myself out there? I feel when you're so passionate about something, you don't even feel it's hard work. It's just what you want to do. I wake up every single day thinking, what new design can I make? My true love for art started when I was a sophomore in high school. I remember I was in an art class, and for our final, we had to go to the Denver Art Museum. We had to choose a painting, and from that painting we had to write a short paragraph and stuff. And so I had never gone to the art museum. I had never even thought about going to the art museum. I really didn't even know it existed. But because of that project, because my teacher assigned us that project, I decided we went. I went with my parents. We went to the art museum. We spent almost 2 hours there, because I was just so fascinated by all the art, seeing what were people thinking when they made it. What was their life story? What led them to make that piece of art? And I think that we can see it a certain way. We can think it communicates a certain way, but it's so interesting once you dive into the history of the artists and stuff to really find out what they were trying to tell us through their art. So that's kind of how I became really passionate about art and about being able to express myself. I remember being the high school kid also who was kind of shy, who didn't exactly know how to express himself, but I felt inspired by artists, by other designers and stuff like that, to express myself through fashion, to express myself through art. I feel inspired to make art, to make fashion and do my own thing.
How would you describe your style?
When I found kind of the 90s grunge, the 90s rock grunge from Los Angeles and stuff like that, and I just fell in love with that look, because you saw people distressing their denim jackets, writing on their denim jackets and stuff like that, and that to me was wow, they're making something that nobody else has by putting their own art, their own emotions into the piece. And so I was that's what I really that's what I want to go for, the 90s grunge look. When somebody first sees you, they look how you're dressed, that's kind of that's kind of their first judgment of you, And so for me it was I want to do something that when somebody sees me, they're whoa, this guy he has a little bit of an edge, he has and that's kind of what I want other people to feel confident in being able to express themselves in that similar way. Every single jacket I make, I'll never do it again. I'll never even try to do it again. That's a unique jacket that I made, inspired by the music I was listening to at that moment, colors I saw at that day and stuff like that. It's just a real it's an expression of everything that I feel and everything that I saw in that moment. I want every single jacket to be a complete expression of who I am. and I want it to be like an expression of who I am and so unique that if you like the jacket, like the only reason you would buy that jacket is because you really, really fell in love with it. Because it really called out to you and you feel like, I need that jacket. Like, I can't live without that jacket. Kind of like a painting, you know, when somebody buys a painting, it's like, they didn't tell the artist what they wanted on that painting. Like, they saw that painting and they said, wow, I fell in love with this and I need it.
Well, I'd love to see one of your jackets.
So all the jackets are like inspired by like, there's like inspired partially by like memories and like just me in high school, you know. And I think like being in high school, being like a boy in high school, like I'm pretty sure like 95% of all high school boys, all we do really is like we go to friends' house, we play video games, and we talk about like the girls that we like and stuff. This jacket, you can see like it says "Lost in Her Eyes," and like that's just kind of something that you know, like I remember distinctly with one of my friends. We would talk about like, oh dude, like you remember seeing that one girl? Oh bro, yeah, she had like really nice eyes. And so like just remember like those type of conversations we would have with each other.
Oh my gosh, that's I like that.
And then like just to like add more emphasis on the eyes, you can see like the eyes drawn out on one of the sleeves. Looking back into like how I was inspired by like 90s grunge and like the rock grunge of like LA and stuff like that. That's where I got all the idea for like the studs and stuff like that. You know, like I don't think there's anything really more like grunge in 90s and studs like on jackets. And so I just wanted to add it because like I'm also a big fan of like texture, like being able to go up to a jacket and like, feel it. And I think just studs add like a perfect texture to it. And then like they just like make the jacket pop up so well. A lot of the jackets you're gonna see heartbreak and all kinds of stuff written on it, specifically heartbreak. And it's actually like kind of poking fun at it as well, because like I remember in high school as well, like with your friends, you know, one day like one of your friends come up, is like, oh bro, I'm so heartbroken. Like, what happened, bro? She left me on red. And I'm like, really? Like, that's why you're heartbroken, because she didn't respond to your text? But I mean, like at the moment, like, yeah, you know, like you're like, oh dude, it's okay, like she'll text you back later or something like that, you know. Like it's kind of like in high school, that's just what we did, you know. It wasn't necessarily like we really felt heartbroken, but it's just how we expressed ourselves with our friends and stuff like that. And so that's why like, it's kind of like poking kind of fun at it too, like because we used heartbreak so much just to express like anything, you know. Like I remember friends of us, like we'd come in and they would be like, dude, I'm like so heartbroken. I was like, what happened, bro? And he'd be like, she has a boyfriend already. It's like, you know, like looking like at that moment, you're just like, oh dude, don't worry, like she'll break up with him and you'll have your chance and stuff like that. But looking back at it now, it's like, I mean, we weren't really heartbroken at all. It was just like, you know, like the next day we were over it. But you know, it's just how we expressed, like how I know me and my friends expressed ourselves during high school, and I'm pretty sure like a lot of high school kids express themselves definitely. This jacket, I kind of just like put studs all over the place just to make it pop. And
I like that.
then you can see like the eyes in the back as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know why I like drawing the eyes, and I like eyes a lot, like seeing people's eyes. Like I think like eyes are like you know, like when people say like eyes are like the windows, like the soul and stuff like that. And you can really tell like when you look into somebody's eyes, you know, like when your parents are angry at you, they look into your eyes and you automatically know, okay, they're angry with me. Like, you know, when you have like a girlfriend or a boyfriend, you know, it's like you look into their eyes and like it's like romantic and stuff. So like I really like drawing eyes and making a lot of references to eyes, because it's like it's like such a great way of expressing like feelings and stuff like that. It's like being able to look at people's eyes. I'm 19 years old, so like high school has been like the biggest part of my life so far. You know, like grade school, like I don't remember much from grade school. Middle school, you kind of just like you survive and you keep going. But like high school is like where you really like, you know, you go in like as a young adult and you want to take like control of like the world. You want to like rule the world basically. You know, you think you can rule the world. It's like that to me like inspires me. You know, just remembering kind of like that innocence of high school. You know, before you're like thrown into the real world, before you're thrown into like having to have a job, having to figure out what are you going to do with your life. I really like this jacket as well because like it looks like two completely different jackets when you look at the front and the back. I tend to use more like men's sizes generally, like a lot, like the medium, the large, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like men's silhouettes. But I mean, like I love when like obviously all the models are girls. Like I love seeing like girls wear it too because I think it adds like a different look to it. Like I think for a girl, like it makes her look more like stunning. Like it makes her look more bold. While for a guy, it makes you look more like laid back. For this jacket, since like the denim is like a little bit of a darker denim, I wanted like the darker denim to like be like a canvas to make the colors really pop out, which is why like I used a lot of paint. So like you still get hints of the original color of the denim, but it really looks like it could just be a red denim jacket or a gold denim jacket. So like you kind of have like this mixture of different colors that like makes it just pop. And then with like the studs and stuff like that all over the place, it like especially under like lighting and stuff like that, it just makes you look more bold, more like confident and stuff.
Gosh.
For me, again, like in high school, I wasn't the most popular kid. I wasn't like the most talkative kid, whatever. But I wanted to like be able to express myself, and I figured out like through the clothes I wore, through the fashion, I was able to express myself. I was able to stand out from everybody else. I also like being able to leave the original color of the jacket just to kind of show like, you know, this is like hand done. You know, like this isn't just like made in the factory and like put out like for the people. So this one has Lost Boys, and if you see the back, it says Lost Boys Club. So I think that was just kind of like a reference to like the idea that like I feel like a lot of people my age specifically, sometimes they feel lost, you know, like they feel like, what am I going to do with my life? I think that's a big question, you know, especially for like my age. I feel really lucky that like I had this sense of purpose. I have this like determination to reach my goals and to get to where I am. But there's so many people that don't know it, and I think that, you know, it just takes a little bit of like pushing them and making them feel comfortable with who they are to really understand. Like, like for me personally, I think that part of the reason I know what I want to do and stuff is because I know who I am. You know, like I know like who I am. I know what I like. I know, you know, why I'm here for. I know there's a purpose to my life, and sadly, I think that there's not that many people who know that. And so that's kind of like a reference to like Lost Boys, like people who just don't feel like they don't feel like they have a purpose. They're kind of lost. This jacket right here, you can see like the patches like of different like prints and stuff. I mean, that's just kind of like, I like prints, and I like different, having like something that just completely like doesn't really go with the jacket, you know, having like, I think it's almost like an anchor print right there, you know, it doesn't really like go with the jacket, but at the same time, once you put it on there, you mix it with everything else, you know, it pops out and it really helps the jacket have its own identity. I mostly work with like leather and denim.
Okay.
You know, I haven't really tried much. I just feel like, again, going back to like my style, like the 90s grunge and stuff like that, it was really focused on like leather and leather pants, leather jackets, as well as denim, like distressed denim jackets. And I just feel like they go really well with each other. You know, being able to like, just like aesthetically as well, being able to have like a denim jacket with a leather jacket, it looks really well together. You know, and it's like that kind of 90s grunge, also inspired by like the fact that I think like a leather jacket in itself, I feel like a leather jacket's already like a statement.
Yes.
You know, like people wear leather jackets like to make a statement in itself. But then once you add like all these details and all this stuff, like it transforms it to something else. You know, out of nowhere you're like, wow, like that's not just a leather jacket. It's something more. It's, you know, it's like it's making even a bolder statement. That's what I really like about leather. But at the same time, I also like how denim jackets like have like had a history. Like denim jackets have a history of having customs, of like people distressing them, writing on them, and stuff like that. And so I also like that like the history that the denim jacket has. You know, like the denim jackets, like specifically, like, you know, like the Levi's jackets have always been used, you know, for a long time, like for the custom making, you add your own patches, you write your own stuff on it. This jacket, I kind of just wanted to have like 2 colors. I didn't want the whole jacket to be painted as well, which is why I left some parts like leather,
Okay.
just like show that there is leather. And then like if you look at the back, it's the same way, like there's that like line in the middle that just separates the gold from the red.
Do you have an idea when going into it exactly what you're going to do, or do you just start creating it and let your...
I think I have like one solid idea. I go ahead, I put that idea, and then from there it's just like brainstorming and thinking and like really in the moment. Like I think I kind of like to make a jacket. Like I get the jacket, I lay it out, and then it's all about like just getting the music right and like getting like in the right headspace and just going for it. Like there's no real planning to it,
Yeah.
I try, like when I first started, I kind of wanted to like sketch out like a jacket and kind of plan it out before, and that way I have like 3 ideas for a jacket, and then just like execute them on the jacket. But I figured out like while making the jacket, like there's like I wanted it to be more free. I wanted it to be like just like in that moment, what are you feeling? Like what are you thinking? Like put it on the jacket. I didn't want it to be like too pre-planned. I just wanted it to be like a direct expression of whatever I was thinking about that moment. All the writing in the front is just lyrics from a song.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
What song?
It's a song called K by Cigarettes After Sex. It's like it just kind of talks about like breaking up with like. Oh no, it talks about so like the main person, like the singer, starts recognizing like that the girl he's been with like starts liking him back and stuff like that. And again, that's kind of just like a reflection back to like high school and stuff. Like you're with your friends, and like, bro, like this girl is like, I think she's starting to like me back. Like everybody starts hyping him up, like, nice job, dude. You gotta get a date with her. You gotta like take her to the here. And again, it's just like remembering like high school and stuff like that. Like, specifically this song like reminds me a lot of high school and stuff. So I just decided to put like the lyrics on there. I never start the back until I finish the front. Like I always start with the front, and I make sure the front is just finished and it's what I want, so that when I turn the back around, I start all over again. Like it's a completely new like idea. Like I start like thinking again, like, okay, what do I want here? So I really don't like some jackets. You can see like there's like a coordination between like the front and the back, but other jackets it's like I lay out the front, I do the front, I'm all finished up, everything's like exactly how I want it, details everything, and then I turn it around and it's like a blank canvas basically. It takes like a couple days actually to do each jacket, because like most of the time it's just by like thinking and like trying to figure it out, and once you start doing it, you get into a rhythm, but then like kind of you slow down and then you like take a step back, because I feel like personally I think like creative is like you start working on something, but then you kind of have to take a step back and like look at it like in a different light. Like sometimes like before the jacket's done, like I'll grab it and like I'll hang it outside like to see it in the sunlight. I work on it, but I always have to take time like off to just like analyze and think, okay, what could I add that like makes it even more bolder?
I want to hear a little more about like your background. Did you go to school or?
Yeah, so high school, like I study a lot. Like I took AP classes and stuff like that because, growing up like in an immigrant family, my parents came from Mexico to here. They came here like with dreams of me being like a lawyer, being an engineer, having like a good job and stuff like that. And so like I really worked hard like to get into like a college, to get like scholarships and stuff like that. And so I got into Regis University. I got their highest merit scholarship, got a couple of other scholarships, so we weren't going to be paying that much. It wasn't a full ride, but we weren't going to be paying that much. And so the whole summer leading up to the first day of college, I was preparing myself for college mentally, just like, okay, you're going to have to start doing homework again. You're gonna have to start studying for final exams. You're gonna have to get up in the morning. You have to get ready for school every single day. And I was okay with it. The whole summer, it was like, okay, like I'm ready for this. I'm ready for like this new chapter in my life. But it was till like the very first day of like college that I kind of like took a step back, and I was like, I don't know if I want this. Like I don't know if this is for me. And I struggled a little bit with trying to figure out if I didn't want to go to college because I was being lazy, like, oh, I don't want to do the work. I don't want to have to write, essays. I don't want to have to go to class and take tests. Like, is that why I don't want to go to college? Because if it's that, then like I should just go. Like I can't like just because I don't want to do the work, not go. That's not how life works. But I ended up realizing, like in my heart, I was like, no, it's not that. It's that I want to pursue my dream. Like I want to go full, like just focus, like put all my energy to like reaching that dream of mine. And I think coming like I said, from an immigrant family, that's kind of tough because your parents have really high expectations for you to like go to college, like to like graduate. Like I graduated high school with honors. I graduated, and like next step was like to graduate college with honors and get a scholar, like get a diploma, get a good job and stuff like that. But I just felt like I admire people who do that, and I think that they're like awesome for doing that. Like I encourage them. But for me specifically, I just felt like this isn't necessary for me. So I decided to like that same day, like I dropped all my classes and basically dropped out of Regis University, and I was like, okay, like what's the next step? Like what can I do next? And it was tough though, because I remember like the first couple months, like the first 2 months after that, it was kind of tough because I didn't know, like I have nobody like to like that could like kind of mentor me and my family. Like nobody in my family has ever like really done that. I was gonna be like the first person like in my household to go to college, so. And I've kind of felt like lost for a little bit, kind of going back to like the Lost Boys Club. I felt kind of lost. I was like, I think I really screwed up. Like I should have gone to college. Like I knew that like after 4 years I could get a job that paid well. I was like, wow, I think I really screwed up. But slowly as I just started like moving all those emotion, all that frustration into like the art, and I slowly started to like post on Instagrams, get more attention, stuff like that. So like now we're here, doing this interview, like for me it was tough, but it was like the best decision I think I could have made, because like it allowed me to really chase my dreams and be like, yes, like this is what I want, and I'm gonna set my mind and my heart to it. Like nothing's gonna stop me, and like I do think about every single day, like I do think about like, you know what, like so many people chase their dreams and like so many people like don't make it, so many people fail and so many people like fall short of it. And it makes me like think like what makes me different, like how do I know I'm gonna make it? And it goes back to like the name of the brand, Perez, which is just to have faith. I have faith that like, you know what, you're gonna make it. You just have to put your whole heart and your whole like soul into it. You gotta persevere through everything. Like you cannot let anything hold you back. And obviously that wouldn't be possible with like the support of my parents. They're like 100% supportive of me, and like they support me in everything I do, and that gives me even more confidence, like more like of a ability to like feel confident in myself and be like, okay, you know what, let's do it. I enjoy having to like wake up every single day and like, okay, like what are we gonna do today to reach my goal, to reach my dream? Like every single day, it's like every single day I think to myself, like every second I don't spend like reaching my goal, like it's like a failure. So I spend every single second, and even when I'm working, like my regular job, when I'm working, I'm thinking about like, okay, like I want to do this with a jacket, or like I want to do this kind of photo shoot. I want to experiment with these colors and stuff like that. So it's a constant just thinking.
Oh my gosh, with that kind of energy and passion, you're on your way.
Definitely.
You. That's so awesome. Thank you for watching the Daisy Blue Fashion Variety Show today with my guest, Jesus Perez. Thank you so much for being on my show.
You're welcome. I'm so thankful for like this opportunity. It's so much fun. Thank you.
Loved your jackets. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.